full moon over Sierra. After the show, the lights go down. Another rocky road.
Thank you. Well, we're here with Jim Watts. He's another gentleman, singer-songwriter from the UK. Welcome, Jim.
Hi, Jim. How you doing?
Very good. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm fit.
Great. Hey, tell us a little bit about your past, your musical history, a little bit about you.
Well, I didn't come from a musical background. I grew up in the rough, poor part of the East End of London with a father who was an ex-professional boxer with a bad temper. So I grew up with a lot of violence, and then I carried that violence on in the streets. And I grew up, like a lot of guys, equating violent with strong and gentle with weak. And I think what the guitar did for me, it allowed me to be gentle. And that was a big thing for me, and I got hooked into music. The songs you're going to be playing, most of the songs you're going to be playing tonight, come from a period very recently when I ended up in prison as a victim of false allegations, and I was sentenced to 12 and a half years in prison. We appealed straight away, and they reduced that by over 2/3 to 4 years. So I spent 2 years in prison, and I'm on license now. It's not easy being in prison, particularly when you're an innocent man.
Absolutely.
And these songs came out of what I was doing in there. They're largely in a style that I tend to call country and southwestern, because I live in the southwest of England. No more East End. I live in a beautiful part of the country now. Musically, I've listened to Bob Dylan was a huge influence. Lead Belly, Jackson C. Frank, Tom Paxton, John Prine, everybody really. Robert Johnson, all sorts. And they bring me where I am today.
Oh, great. Well, tell us a little bit about the first song, Exeter Prison Blues. And I know all your videos are you just playing your guitar, but tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, Exeter Prison was the prison I was in, and it's a jungle really, because it was a remand prison. So in theory, you go there until you're sentenced and you move on. So there are no proper facilities, and most people really should be in mental hospitals. I was there for a full 2 years because I was useful to the prison, and I was sitting one day with my back to the wall, and I thought, I'm singing with my back to the wall, and then I started this. I got my back to the wall and my head up my ass. It came, you know.
Yeah. Fun. It's funny where we get lyrics from.
Yeah, it come from all over, snatching it out of the air.
Yep. Yep. All right. Well, we're going to cut over to Exeter Prison Blues by Jim Watts.
Got my back to the wall, my head up my ass, and I'm sitting here waiting for the time to pass. What can a poor boy do? Don't matter if I shout, they ain't gonna let me out. Lord of God, the Exeter Prison Blues. Sit here looking at the wall and wishing I could make it fall. At least then I'd have a view. Don't matter what I say, ain't gonna let me get away. Lord of God, the Exeter Prison Blues. Standing on the old cold floor and someone's looking through my door. Wish I could see them too. Don't matter who I ask, they ain't gonna let me pass. Lord of God, the Exeter Prison Blues. Spend a day lying on my bed with the strangest thoughts running through my head. Wish you could see them too. Don't matter what your case, you're still gonna end up in this place. Then you'll have the Exeter Prison Blues. Walking around in the yard and some fool said that life is hard. Lord knows that's true. Don't matter what I do, ain't gonna let me home to you. Lord of God, the Exeter prison. Got my back to the wall, my head up my ass, and I'm sitting here waiting for the time to pass. What can a poor boy do? You gonna hear me shout on the day that I get out, then I lose the Exeter prison. I'm gonna jump and shout on the day that I get out, then I lose the Exeter prison.
All right, we're back with Jim Watts from the UK as our featured artist. And that was Exeter Prison Blues. Jim, fantastic job on that. Tell us about the next song we have, Only Sad Songs in Here.
Yeah, again, when after 6 months in prison, I managed to get hold of a guitar, and a long process, but I got a guitar, not a very good one, and I started playing, and I realised I actually wasn't playing any of the songs I would have normally played outside. I only played the songs which I wrote in prison, or which I learned in prison, and I also realised I was only doing sad songs. There were no happy songs. And things came into the way I write songs is I pick up the guitar and it comes, and I never change it. That's it. It's an entirety. And I was thinking of things like in the country and southwestern theme of country songs. You know, of the things that happen in country songs. And, you know, I always said I wanted to write really sad country songs and get big country artists to record them and make lots of money years ago. That never happened. But if you think of all the disasters that happen in songs, so Sing Me the One where he done a wrong, and the one about the mum who pulled her son from under the truck and stuff. So it came together that way. And I didn't do any happy songs. So, you know, prison's not a place for happy songs.
All right, well, let's give this a listen. It's called Only Sad Songs in Here.
I sang me a song, he done her wrong, the one where she took him back. Now tell me the one of the hero mom who pulled her boy from the tracks. Tell me a story of love and glory, 'cause there's only sad songs in here. Only sad songs in here. Songs of longing and fear. I only have songs of injustice and wrong, 'cause there's only sad songs in here. Now I need to know about things that can grow like love and flowers and trees. And all I can get are songs of regret that bring a man to his knees. I need something to shine in this world of mine, 'cause there's only sad songs in here. Only sad songs in here. Songs of longing and fear. I only have songs of injustice and wrong, 'cause there's only sad songs in here. I need some good news. I long for the views that tell me the sun will still shine. I need to be told all that glisters is gold, and the best of all places is mine. Don't make me wait, come tell me straight, 'cause there's only sad songs in here. Only sad songs in here. Songs of longing and fear. I only have songs of injustice and wrong, 'cause there's only sad songs in here. Now tell her she's one, tell him he has a son, and the farm won't have to be sold. Tell him he'll live and she'll forgive, and the old wooden cross is pure gold. Show me the way to face a new day, 'cause there's only sad songs in here. Only sad songs in here. songs of longing and fear. I only have songs of injustice and wrong, 'cause there's only sad songs in here. Only sad songs in here. Songs of longing and fear. Now I only have songs of injustice and wrong, 'cause there's only sad songs in here.
All right, we're back again with Jim Watts. That was Only Sad Songs in Here. Jim, tell us about your next one, Susan Sends Me Letters.
Yeah, well, Susan is my wife of over 30 years. My rock, hugely supportive of me in prison. My letters from Sue were what kept me together in lots of ways. I actually find it very hard to sing that without getting emotional. I get emotional thinking about it.
Sure.
So Susan sends me letters, and I keep them all the while. And there's a thing, she sends me pictures, and I paste them on the wall, because we used to use prison toothpaste to stick pictures on the wall.
Oh.
Sue is the one. This is a song I'm most proud of, I think.
Excellent. All right, let's give that a listen. Susan Sends Me Letters.
Susan sends me letters, they always make me smile. Susan sends me letters and I keep them all the while. Susan sends me pictures and I paste them on the wall. Susan sends me love and that's what means the most of all. But I wish that I could hold her, and I wish that she were near. Susan sends me letters and she tells me all her news. Susan looks outside and shares with me the views. Susan meets with people and she tells them of my plight. Susan hears the rumors and she always puts them right. But I wish that I could hold her, and I wish that she were near. Susan comes to visit and she calls me on the phone. Susan thinks about me so I never am alone. Susan sends me letters and she's always on my mind. Susan sends me letters telling me it will be fine. But I wish that I could hold her, and I wish that she were near. Susan sends me letters.
And we're back with Jim Watts from the UK. Jim, that was excellent. Susan Sends Me Letters. Now, your next song is Truth and Justice Blues. Why don't you tell us about that one?
Yeah, sure. Again, I was always brought up to believe in truth and justice, and the events of the past few years have made me doubt that, made me question a lot. So that I was a bit bitter in this one, I think. There's a bit of spite in there, but I could have been worse. I thought I kept it low, but I'm still trying to get back my belief in truth and justice, but it's difficult.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Yeah. So,
All right, well, let's give this one a listen. It's Truth and Justice Blues.
Didn't sleep last night, my thoughts wouldn't let me be. You know I didn't sleep last night, my thoughts wouldn't let me be. I was thinking about injustice that's been done to me. People that cheated, you know now people that lied. You know who you are. People that cheated, you know now people that lied. But them people must have laughed until they cried. Friend said don't worry, truth will set you free. Now look at me. and said, don't worry, truth will set you free. Damn old truth didn't do nothing for me. Born under a bad sign, I've been down since I began to crawl. Born under a bad sign, I've been down since I began to crawl. If it wasn't for bad luck, I wouldn't have no luck at all. Bad luck and trouble, been my only friend. I've been down since I was 10, born under a bad sign. I've been down since I began to crawl. Now if it wasn't for bad luck, I wouldn't have no luck at all. Trust in justice and you will be fine. They told me trust in justice and you know you will be fine. They was lying. British justice sure wasn't no friend of mine. Bad luck and trouble, still my only friend. I've been down since Lord knows when, born under a bad sign. I've been down since I began to crawl. Now if it wasn't for bad luck, I wouldn't have no luck at all. Didn't sleep last night, my thoughts wouldn't let me be. You know I didn't sleep last night, my thoughts wouldn't let me be. Now I was thinking about injustice that's been done to me.
And that was Truth and Justice Blues. I like that song, Jim. We're back here with Jim Watts from the UK. Your next song, Jim, is Not Changing. Tell us about that.
Not Changing is the first one I wrote in prison.
Ah.
And it's very easy in prison to become just like everybody else. The hard thing is to stay as you. That's what I did. I refused to allow people to call me just by my surname. I insisted people said please and thank you. My way was you can only disrespect me if I let you. So I stood up as me, remained as me, and it's the hard option. But I've never really taken the easy way out. And this song says that. Not changing is hard. But there's no other option.
I'm sure there wasn't. All right, let's give it a listen. Not Changing. Or, yes, Not Changing. Sorry.
Hard times I've been doing, left lines on my face. Been doing hard traveling, staying in one place. And I've climbed me some mountains, standing on this floor. And I've been to strange places behind this door. Changing so hard, not changing so tough. Trying to keep the smooth from the rough. Not changing so hard, not changing so tough. Trying to keep the smooth from the rough. I've talked to so many while here on my own. I've kept some strange company sitting here all alone. And I've answered the questions that nobody asks. And I've seen hidden faces that work behind masks. But not changing so hard, not changing so tough. Trying to keep the smooth from the rough. Not changing so hard, not changing so tough. Trying to keep the smooth from the rough. And I've reached out and touched folk who weren't even here. I found myself afraid of things I don't fear. And I've sung songs in silence, seen things in the dark. What I lost on the swings I found in the park. But not changing so hard, not changing so tough. Trying to keep the smooth from the rough. Not changing so hard, not changing so tough. Trying to keep the smooth from the rough. The hard times I've been doing left lines on my face. Been doing hard traveling, staying at one place. And I've climbed me some mountains, standing on this floor. And I've been to strange places behind this door. Not changing so hard, not changing so tough. Trying to keep the smooth from the rough. It's not changing so hard, not changing so tough. Gotta keep keeping the smooth from the rough. Still trying to keep the smooth from the rough.
All right, that was Truth. Sorry, you want to start that again?
No, keep it going.
All right. That was Not Changing with Jim Watts here from the UK. Jim, your next song you've had on our show before, and Ron and I kind of misunderstood what the song was about. It's called Keep the Wolf from the Door, and we thought it was about something else. You want to let us know what it's really about?
Right, this is actually the first song I ever wrote. I use the term loosely when I say wrote, because I don't write songs, I don't understand music, I don't write anything down. I make it up as I go along. So this was the first song I ever made up, over 30 years ago. It was when I was first together with my wife Sue. This is a song for Sue, about Sue. There are lots of references in there to living in a land far away, because my wife is from South Africa.
Uh-huh.
And this was the first one, and you can tell the exuberance, young love. I had dark hair then, you know, square shoulders. You know, it's that sort of song. It's maybe my first move into writing songs was prompted by love, and it's carried on ever since. And we're still together 30 odd years later. Got two great kids. And we're growing old together. That's how it should be.
That's the way it should be. All right, let's give that a listen.
She came to me, eyes filled with pain. Life had been broken broken for a while. Here I am, trying to get the rain from my shoulder. Here I am, trying to keep a wolf from her door. Know that a heart is in a land far away. I know how hard it must be for her to stay. Here I am, trying to keep the rain from my shoulder. Here I am, trying to keep a wolf from her door. Just want to show her doesn't have to rain. Want her to know you can learn to love again. Here I am, trying to keep the rain from her shoulder. Here I am, trying to keep a wolf from her door. Came to me, her eyes filled with pain. Life had been broken for a while. Here I am, trying to keep the rain from her shoulder. Here I am, trying to keep a wolf from her door.
All right, Jim, it has been my pleasure to have you on the show.
It's been my pleasure, Jim. I'd just like to thank you and Bobby and everybody for having me on. I feel a bit of a fraud when I'm on the same stage as people like Jason and Mal, because they're proper musicians and proper songwriters, and I feel a bit of a fraud there, but I'm grateful for the chance to be heard.
Well, trust me, you are up there with everybody else. You're a great songwriter. We love having you on the show. Keep making those videos, keep writing those songs, or making them up as you go along.
Well,
And
I've
can't wait.
had 250,000 people listen to me online, and that blows me away.
That's fancy. You're so good. All right, thanks again, Jim. We're going to cut back to our regular program. Take it away.
Welcome back to OmnTV. I'm Bob Guest, the producer of this show. We're on 95 Riverside Road at this moment. The building behind me is the New England Carousel Museum and Fireman's Museum. Want to take some time out right now? I'd like you to follow me right up inside. We're either going to meet Ms. Ruth Stanley or Ms. Louise DeMars. So come on down. Let's go on up and have a look. Well, as you can see, we're inside the museum at this point in time. Outside it's kind of sticky and hot. Inside, the air conditioning is just simply marvelous. So if you want to follow me, and then we'll go on the inside, and hopefully we'll meet Louise DeMars. Louise DeMars?
I'm delighted that you're here. Welcome to the Carousel
Oh, I
Museum.
appreciate it being invited. This is a beautiful place. They carve with that wood?
Yes, one of the things that I wanted to show you is how carousel horses are put together, how they were put together at the turn of the century, and how they're put together today. most people don't realize that carousel pieces are made up of about 30 to 40 pieces of wood, usually poplar or bass, which is the softest of the hardwoods. And the wood pieces are laminated together with animal hide glue and doweling. There are no nails or screws that are used in the configuration of an animal.
And these are all hand chiseled.
And these are all hand carved, absolutely. And you can see that the bellies are hollow. And so when we have to open an antique piece up for restoration, we find all kinds of weirdness inside. It might be a tool, it might be a hornet's nest, it could be an Irish sweepstake ticket, it could be a bill of sale. There are all kinds of interesting and wonderful things inside. But the important thing here is that they're made up of multiple pieces of wood. Though when you look at an antique piece that's on a ride, it looks seamless, but in fact it's many pieces, and the seamless part of it is disguised when the primer is applied to the animal. They're primed and sanded and primed and sanded and primed and sanded so that the join lines disappear, and it gives you a very seamless kind of look.
What's the length of time that one of these is built?
Well, today,
Mm-hmm.
it depends on the size of the horse, where it sits on the carousel, and what kind of ornateness it has. So each one varies depending upon those variables. But you can see the drawings on the walls. At the turn of the century, immigrants came to this country and they brought with them their cabinet making skills. And so there was no common language spoken in the shops. And so in order to communicate, the foreman would draw on the walls so when people showed up for work that day, they would know what they were carving on that day.
This has been fascinating. Where are we going next?
We're going to go over and look at some standers and jumpers.
Ugh. Won't be me. But while we do that, our first performer is going to be Frank Albert Woods. You know, Mr. BTT. Lately, he has not been doing any conversation pertaining to his music, so of course the song aptly is called Something's Missing. Well, here's Frank Woods singing Something's Missing.
One, two, three, four. Time may heal our wounds, but it doesn't fill the gaps. The space is left when something is removed. The wind can blow cold through the many holes, such a long time after the bleeding stopped. My cup remains half full, though I tried not to dwell on the emptiness that is inside. I become distracted, the cup could surely fall, leaving what is left shattered on the ground. Something's missing, a part of me I left behind. Something's missing, I woke up feeling lost. Something's missing, I can't pull it all together today. Guess that's why I'm missing you. Living in the aftermath of the night before. Skin grows numb, you learn to dull the pain. Learn to carry on when everything has changed. Better to crawl than to run away. Something's missing, a part of me I left behind. Something's missing, I woke up feeling lost. Something's missing, I can't put it all together today. Guess that's why I'm missing you. Tiny homes, but it doesn't fill the gaps. Space is left when something is removed. The wind can blow cold through the many holes, such a long time after the bleeding stopped. Something's missing, a part of me I left behind. Something's missing, I woke up feeling lost. Something's missing, I can't pull it all together today. Guess that's why I'm missing you. Guess that's why I'm missing you. Guess that's why I'm missing you.
Great job, Frank. I'm here with Louise Delmaris, I'm sorry, and we are at Jumpers, Standards, and Prancers, am I correct?
Yes.
I'm going to let her take it from here because that's a tongue twister for me.
In the United States, there are 3 schools of carving: the country fair style, the Coney Island style, and the Philadelphia style. So just as you would walk into an art museum and be able to tell the difference between, say, a Van Gogh and a Monet, you can tell the difference between carousel carvers as well. And you can see that we have examples here of each kind of horse. The chocolate horse that's right there in front of you is a country fair style animal created by Alan Herschel. And as you can see, he's smaller in size and a little more compact because he's the guy who would have gotten traveled week by week to different country fairs, which is where he got his name. The horse in the back, the very stately Dapple, is a stander, and he is magnificent. He was created by Gustav Denzel, and he's of the Philadelphia style of carving.
Oh, he'll fit me.
Isn't he beautiful?
Oh.
All of our horse people who come into the museum absolutely migrate directly to that horse because he's so realistically carved. You have a very stately, realistically carved animal. This one in particular has a roached mane, so it gives him a very militaristic look. And then my favorite, which is the Coney Island style of carving. And of course, what do you think of when you think of Coney Island? You think of glitz. And so here we have an Illians jumper. This horse was created by Marcus Illians, and he was one of the top 10 carvers at the turn of the century. And he used lots of gold. This is 23 karat gold leaf, and lots of jewels, and a flamboyant look to the horse. The horse had a lot of action. And although it's not as realistic as a Philadelphia style, that horse is really moving. You can see from the wind-blown mane and the stance of the horse.
See what you guys are missing by not coming to the museum? I was missing it. Where are we going next?
We're going to go up the row, and I'm going to show you some more spectacular animals.
Ooh, can't wait. Well, while we're doing that, our next performer is going to be a new gentleman by the name of Bob Gifford. He's going to be singing Window to the Sea. We like to consider him as a new member to this family. When you see him, you're actually going to see that he's one-armed because of a medical issue that he had that I'm not going to get into. but you're gonna see that he does that one-arm blues outstanding. So enjoy.
of the most important carousel horses in the room. This splendid piece is called the Lincoln Head Penny Horse. It was created in 1909 by Marcus Illians to commemorate the minting of the Lincoln Head penny. This side of the horse is called the Romance side. The master carver would have carved the head and this side of the body. Did you ever take the time to look at the back side of a horse? We call this the apprentice side of the horse. The helpers were allowed to practice on the back sides of the horse. You could see there is very little in the way of carving.
Before Louise starts talking about the menagerie, our next artist is a gentleman by the name of Takahiro Masuda from Leahy, Finland. He used to have a band called The Creeps. He'll be performing, but the song is titled In My Life. So enjoy.
Running from reality, my life.
Well, in addition to the horses on the carousel, there are other pieces that make up the design. We have rounding boards and trim pieces and other animals that sit on the ride that are called menagerie figures. There are lions and tigers and goats and giraffes and swans and frogs and all kinds of wonderful, whimsical pieces that also make up the carousel.
Well, before we get to our party time, our next performer is a gentleman by the name of Dave Hilborn. Song Echoes and Narcissist. Please do not ask me what narcissist stands for, because I do not have a dictionary in front of me. So enjoy. Before we get into the carousel, our next performer is from the UK. Her name is Belinda Gent, otherwise known as B Music. She actually will be playing homemade cigar box guitars. You'll see that in video. And from me to you, I know you're going to enjoy it. cancel?
Absolutely. Come on, I'll give you a ride.
Oh, great.
Only if you promise to behave yourself.
Not me. I'll step back.
Thank you.
I need a large size lollipop. Anybody got one of those? Oh, and it's gonna hold a 300-pound individual. Yo! Yo! Woo! We're moving fast. Oh no, I put my seatbelt on.